Hi friends, so good morning and welcome to this class, and we are studying about one of the most important resources, natural resources, that is the land. The land, we say, it is one of the most important resources because we cannot think about, we cannot imagine of a situation without land. No, without land, where will we stand? Where will we make our house? Where will the trees grow? Where will the animals take rest? So, land is the most basis for everything to exist on this earth, and therefore the land that we need to take care mostly, we need to take care of it nicely with utmost care, otherwise the land will be lost. The soil, especially the top layer of the soil, which is very fertile, and that will be lost, means we will not be able to do the cultivation, the farming and so on, and it will remain a barren land. So in today's class we shall see how to use this land properly. So our title is land use, how to use this land properly. That is what we are going to see. You can see, or you can follow your textbook, page number 10. So land is for different purposes such as agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, building roads and setting up of industries. So we can underline that. What are the usefulness of land? What are the usefulness? We can use it for agriculture, then for forestry. If you want to grow forest, you need to have land, isn't it? Tree cannot grow in the air. Then mining, if you want to take out the natural resources or minerals from under the earth, the land is needed. We dig the land and we get these minerals. Then we do building house. On the land we build the house. Then we construct roads. All the roads are going through the land. And setting up of industry. If you want to start industry, if you want to set up factory, then we need land. So all these are the basic things that we need in our life, and for all that we need land, and it all depends on the availability of the land. Then this is commonly termed as land use. You can underline what is commonly termed as land use. So what is land use? The land is used for different purposes such as agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, roads, setting up of industry and so on. And this is commonly known as land use. Can you list out the different ways in which Mambas and Peter's family use their land? So we studied in the other class about the example of two kids. One is living in Tanzania, Mamba's family, and Peter's family is living in New Zealand. So both of them were working on the land. Do you remember? Mamba's family, they were living on a rocky soil. The father used to dig and dig and able to plant some maize and some beans. The soil was rocky, therefore it was not producing good harvest. On the other hand, the Peter's family in New Zealand, they were herding sheep. They were having farms. So the hills and the slopy regions all covered with grass, so that the sheep can go and graze on that. So that is how they were making use of the land. Both lands were not equal, and both of them were working on the land. One used for cultivation, another one used for feeding the sheep. Then the use of the land is determined by physical factors. So if you want to use the land, it will depend on the physical factors like the topography. Topography means the top level of the soil. Is it a hilly, or is it a valley, or is it plain? So the top part, it depends on the topography of the soil. Then the quality of the soil, is it very fertile or is it very rocky or sandy, or is it alluvial soil, and so on. Depends on the quality of the soil. Then the climate of that place, is it too hot or too cold? If it is too hot, the things will not grow. If it is too cold also, things will not grow. So depends on the climate. Moderate climate is the best climate. There should be not too hot and not too cold, and there should be enough rain and so on. Then that place will be very good for farming. Then minerals. How much of minerals are available? So suppose a lot of minerals are there in that area, then that soil becomes very useful. Then availability of water. So for cultivation, one thing that we need is water. And in India, most of the farmers are depending on the monsoon rain. And we know monsoon rain cannot be completely relied on. Sometimes it comes early, sometimes it is late, sometimes very less, sometimes more, and so on. So it is always varying, not equal every year. Therefore, we need to have availability of water for irrigation. Then that part soil becomes very useful. Then human factors such as population and technology are also important determinants of the land use pattern. Another thing that matters how the land becomes useful is the availability of human population. So if more people are living there, then they can make use of that land. Suppose the area where no people are living, especially if you go to the mountain tops, hilltops and so on, you will find very few people are living there. Very few people are living there. But if you go to desert and so, you find very few people again. May not be anybody living there. So depends on the number of people and also the technology. So people who are living there, they should have proper technology. They should have proper know-how, how to use. Suppose the land is very fertile, but the person or people who are living there, they don't know how to cultivate. They have no technology. They go with a spade, go on digging, and by the time they finish digging, the monsoon will be over and they cannot cultivate. So people who have idea about technology, they'll bring the tractor and they'll plow the field within one day, and next day they'll sow the seed and they'll start cultivation and they can make use of it. So people are needed and the technology also needed. They should know how to use this technology. Then we have a chart is there. You can see a chart is given there. It is about different countries, how much land they make use for different purpose. You can see there how many countries are there. Australia, Brazil, Canada, China, France, India, Japan, Russia, UK and USA. 10 countries are given there. Let us study how these 10 countries are making use of their land, how much for what purpose and so on. So for example, Australia is using 6% of the land for cropland, for cropping, for cultivation. They use only 6% of the land for cultivation. Then such a large amount, 56% of Australia land is used for pasture, for feeding animals, because they grow a lot of animals, sheep, cows and so on. So they use 56%, that means more than half of the land is used for pasturing. They will be growing grass there and the animals will be allowed to go and eat there. Then 14% they have forest. So they have very less forest. The international rule is that at least 30% of the land should be reserved forest. But Australia has got very less area for forest. So other use, 24% are used for other purposes, making house, making roads, industry and so on. So that is how Australia. Then second one is Brazil. See Brazil's case, they use 9% for cropping, for cultivation. Then 20% they use for pasture, for feeding the animals. Then 66% is forest. So they give so much importance to the forest, and 66% of the land is forest. So very famous forests like Amazon forest and so on, there it is there in the it is in there, and they give so much importance to forests. And only 5% is used for other purpose, for making roads, building houses and so on. So see, Brazil is giving importance to forests. Australia is giving importance to pasture. Now let's see Canada. Canada is one very big country, and they have only 5% for cropping. Then 4% they are keeping for pasture, for feeding the animals. Then 39% is for forest, and 52% is used for other purpose. So for them, they use the land for other purposes like building houses, building roads, building other things and so on, factories, playgrounds and so on. So for them, more than cropping, pasturing and forest, they give importance to other purpose. So Canada is a developed country, and they have so much of industries and so on. Then let us see about China, our neighboring country. China is much bigger than India, and 10% is used for cropping, for cultivation. They use 10%. Then 34% is used for pasture land. They have a lot of animals, they keep 34% of the land for pasture. Then forest, they have very less, only 14% of the land is used for forest. Then for other use, they have 42%. So 42% is used for other purposes. Then let us go to France. 35% is used for cropping. 21% is used for pasture land, 27% is used for growing forests, then 17% is used for other purpose. So France is giving importance to cropping. The maximum amount of land, 35% is used for cropping or cultivation. Now let's come to our own country, India. So we have 57% for cropping, and more than half of the land is used for agriculture. Then 4% is used for pasture. Though India has got plenty of animals, we don't have enough place for them to graze. Most of them are set free, and they go and eat here and there. Then 22% is forest. So we also don't have enough area for forest. Suppose we 30%, but we have only 22% as forest area. Then 17% is used for other purposes. Then Japan, a small country but a very well developed country. So 12% of them is used for pasture land. Then 2% is used for pasture land. Then 67% is used for forest. You can see among all these 10 countries, Japan gives more importance to forest. Just after Japan is Brazil, 66% is given for forest. Japan gives 1% more. Then 19% is used for other purposes. Then Russia, another big country. 8% is used for cropping, 5% is for pasture, 44% is for growing forest. They also have a good area is given for forest, and 44% is given for other purposes as well. Then UK, 29% is used for cropping, 46% is used for pasture land, and 10% is given for forest. So UK has got very little forest, and other use they give 16%. Now the USA, 21% is used for farming, 26% is given for pasture land, and 32% is given for forest, and 21% is given for other purposes. These are the individual. So in the whole world, if you take, what is the situation? The whole world we will find only 11% of the total area is used for cultivation or for cropping. Then 26% is given for pasturing. Then 31% is given for forest, and 32% is used for other purposes. So these are the average account how the land all over the world are distributed for what purpose and so on. So you have to do some homework, and below that 2 questions are given there. Study the above table and answer the following. So you have to study this table nicely and then follow the questions that are given below. Answer the questions. Name the countries having the highest percentage of land under cropland, forest, pasture and other uses. So we have to each section, 4 sections are there: cropland, pasture land, forest and other use. So in all these, which are the countries leading, giving more land? Then how would you relate the land use pattern of these countries with a probable economic activity? So by looking at this use of land, you must be able to say what are the economic activities of these countries. For example, a country that is given 57% for cropping, what will be the main economic activity of that country? It is the farming, cultivation, agriculture is the main occupation. Like that, we have to look at the number of the area given to each section, and by looking at that, you should be able to say what are the main economic activities of the people of that country. So that is your homework. Okay, so do it nicely and send it to me in my number. So this look nicely and read nicely this table and answer the 2 questions given below. Then land also can be classified on the basis of ownership as private land and community land. Again we can say we have 2 types of land. One is private land then community land. Private land and community land. So very simple, from the name itself we can understand what is private. It is belonging to the individual, the property that belongs to you, the field that belongs to your family, that is your individual or private land. And community land means the land that is meant for all the members of the community. For example, if there is a public ground, it is meant for all the people of the Ziro, that is a community ground. So then there are so many other things like common toilets may be there, no, public toilet may be there, that is meant for everyone, that is common property. Or there may be common well may be there in the village, so all the people of that village will come and take water from them, that is property. So land, there may be some forest area may be there, all the people of that village can go and collect firewood from there, or can collect fruits from there, or can collect nuts or collect leaves and so on. So these are land that is meant for everyone in that village. So that is called common land or community land. So private land means that belongs to the individual, but the land that belongs to all the people of that area, the village, then it is called community land. And this community land also has got common property resource. Another name for the community land is common property resource. So you can underline what is another name for common land, common property resources. Then people and their demands are ever growing, but the availability of the land is limited. So we know people want more and more land for themselves. They want expand their territory, their land, their compound. But how can we expand? The land is limited. And the quality of land also differs from place to place. We know the land is not same everywhere. The quality, some places it is sandy, some places it is very good soil, some places it is black soil, some places it is valley, some places it is mountain. So it is differing from place to place. And people started encroaching the common lands to build up commercial areas, housing complexes in the urban areas, and to expand the agricultural land in rural areas. So the land that was kept for common purpose like forest, then roadside, and so people began to encroach. We can see some people making their buildings very close to the road, or they make even one step inside the road. They try to encroach in order to expand their areas. Actually that is not allowed. We are not allowed to encroach into the common property. So some of them want builds their commercial areas, their shops, and so on, and therefore they go on encroaching the land of others, especially the common land. Then today, the vast changes in the land use pattern also reflect the cultural changes in our society. So today, the different use of land, people use the land for different purposes. That is showing that the cultural difference in the society. People are different in culturally, or people have a different cultures and they use it for different purposes. Then land degradation, landslides, soil erosion, desertification are the major threats to the environment because of the expansion of agriculture and construction activities. You can underline that also. What are the major threats to environment? Because of the expansion of agriculture. People want to expand their agriculture. They want to get their field bigger and bigger for cultivation, and sometimes they want to do construction. They want to construct buildings, factories, and so on. So when they do these things, what are the things that are happening? What are the side effects? Sometimes there is land degradation is there. The quality of the land is going down because of maybe throwing waste, or maybe because of too much using the soil, putting fertilizers, and so on. The quality of the soil is lost. Then landslides are taking place. If you cut the hills, there can be landslide. Or if you go on digging the land, there can be soil erosion. If you cut the trees, there can be soil erosion. Landslides, all can take place. Then desertification. So if you continuously use or continuously cut the trees and overgraze, allow the animals to go on eating grass in the same place, and all the grass will be lost and the soil will be loose, and with one rain all the soil will be washed away, and that area will become like a desert. It will not be able to use, it will not be useful anymore. After the topsoil is washed away, it will not become useful. So it will become a wasteland, like a desert land. So that is what will happen because of this human activities. All these are human activities. Cultivation, cutting trees, or building, making buildings. All these are human activities, and because of these human activities, the great threat that is taking place, like landslides, the degradation of the soil, soil erosion, and desertification. All these take place because of the human activities. So we need to regulate our human activities. We should not do the activities that are doing harm or destroying the soil. We must do things that will protect the soil and preserve the soil. And because We know the soil is so precious, the land is so precious, and without land we cannot live, we cannot survive, we cannot bring development. So I hope you understood the importance of land and how the human activities are affecting the quality of the soil, how we are destroying the land and so on. So try on your own part, try to make aware others about the importance of preserving the soil, preserving the land, and how we must take care of it, how important it is, and so on. So for today we shall wind up, and the next class we will come back again and learn more about the land, how to preserve it, how to protect it, and how to use it in a normal way, in the moderate way, without damaging to the land, without damaging the environment and so on. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Bye.